What's up, TRKA investors and moneymakers? Welcome back to the channel. It was such a great day for TRKA. I'm going to review because it also made it to top 7 winning penny stocks on Investors Place. 7 winning stocks that will still have a room to run, which I tend to agree with. They have a lot of other stocks, but TRKA made right about Alibaba. So let's talk about TRKA. I truly believe that there is a ton of potential in TRKA because if you think about today's range, we went to 18 cents and then we went to 24 cents. So all in all, it was 1/3, 33% run up. And we also figured out that 18 cents is a short-term bottom for TRKA. The value that we want to really identify is where it can hit all the way on the higher side. We know that it's 32 cents, and I'll give you more technical pointers and my own opinion. You do your own due diligence, but I just wanted to quickly share because we started seeing a lot of buzz around TRKA. Many of you asked me, why did I say in my previous video that TRKA could be the next GameStop? I actually covered it. I saw the Reddit post as well. Reddit thinks that TRKA is another GameStop. Again, remember, when it's a community driven stock, when it's a social component, the stock tends to get a ton of attention. And you want to play pretty wisely and don't really want to play emotionally. But if you're running for a free play, and what I mean by free play is when you have a free ride, when you put your money from some of the profit that you booked and you're riding for free, that's where you make money without worrying about anything. So invest only the money that won't wake you up at night. Do your own due diligence. I am not a financial advisor, but I like TRKA. One of my subscribers suggested this stock to me, and I like to see when the market turns, and if the stock turns, it's a great sign. And this is what exactly happened. Today, Dow Jones was up 500 points. NASDAQ was up close to 300 points and S&P was up almost 2%. And TRKA turned around. Guess what? We are up 11.52%. And this is something I like to see. 18 cents that we went down. And then take a look right here. We are up 25%, rather 27%. So if you made money, had a swing trade, congratulations to you. Don't forget to hit the like button because you know what? It helps me, it motivates me. Subscribe to the channel. At the least, make this channel part of your due diligence. We want to spread the word out, especially a stock that has done 2x, 100% return within just year to date. Within last 4 months, it ramped up 100%. Yes, 93.64% if you count precisely. And there is a lot of potential that it can go 70 cents back again, which is 3.5 times return on the investment. Someone buys this stock around 20 cents, goes to 80 cents, it's 4x pump or 300% return on your investment, which is not a small return. Without a further ado, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and let's get into it. Why Investor Place thinks that this is one of the 7 winning stock. Now, penny stocks are historically volatile. So that's another thing you want to remember, that penny stocks are great. You can make 2x, 3x, 5x return on your investment. On the flip side, you can quickly lose 50, 60, 70% of your own money. So don't invest a big entire portfolio. I usually only invest 5 to 7% of my entire portfolio in penny stock because they tend to be volatile, pretty risky. But many times I double, triple, quadruple my money as well. So penny stocks are historically volatile. In this case, TRKA, New York-based company, advertising, marketing, and consulting business. Now, one of the things that you want to notice is right now the ad media dollars are struggling because retail market struggles, financial struggles, you name them. Cryptocurrencies struggle. Everything is struggling in the struggling mode, and ad industries, not digital ads especially, their CPMs and everything else is not really working out the way they want it to be. But when it turns around, this type of company, TRKA, will benefit the most. The company's stock started 11 cents and March it spiked to 76 cents, a gain of 560%, more than 5x. What a winner in terms of the money maker, right? And the backs, the short sellers, there was a huge short selling happening in TRKA. People were talking about TRKA going to delisting, and so on and so forth. I recently started looking into this stock, but when I started researching, huge short volume. But the bottom fell out and now the stock is down again, 20 cents per share. Now there is a gain of 68% year to date, and we saw that year to date is more like 95%, 94%, and the stock is looking oversold. And I'll do more technical analysis, but if you think about it, right now the RSI does suggest that we are 46, not an overbought, not an oversold condition. Historically, here is what I wanted to quickly show you in terms of the short volume, and the short volume usually is higher for this particular stock. And let's take a look what happened today. Originally, when we looked into it, the short interest float is about 4.22. It's not so bad, but the short interest ratio, the days to cover, is about 0.66, and 50% is the short volume ratio for FINRA, which is pretty high. And we have seen more than 50% for multiple days just within the last few days. Take a look: 50%, 46%, 48%, 55%, 50, 51, 45, 52, 59. So close to 60%, ladies and gentlemen. This is a huge short volume. People are batting against it, and that is why I'll share you within one more second why it is compared to GameStop, why Twitter and Reddit and all that social media platforms are talking about next GameStop, because there are some similarities. I'll go over it again. I did go in my previous video in more detail as to why this article thinks it's a short selling next GME. But let's talk about it. After acquiring this direct last year, this TRKA had 1125% increase in revenue, and we'll talk about revenue. $188 million in revenue. The EBITDA is high right now, 5 million, but that can quickly go up, or the revenue can spike through the roof and the EBITDA doesn't spike through the roof either, and it won't spike. And because it's a technology company, it's ad market, it's digital advertisement, and all of the above, right? And this company posted an EBITDA of 4.95 million, as I told you, 5 million, and the year after recording a 4.58 million EBITDA loss. True, this is not for the faint of heart, but TRK has potential to build on its gain if it continues to show the improvement in revenue, and this is what precisely I'm talking about. TRK has a B rating in portfolio grader. Now think about why TRK is next GameStop. For those of you who missed out on my previous video, let's talk about it. Number one, they have some striking similarities with GameStop. Number one, that is cheapest share price, as you can see, 20 cents, and the restructuring plan. Also, it clarifies its financial standing. However, investors should remain skeptical, and it is one of the favorite stock on Reddit. So the Redditors love the stock, retail investors love the stock, and there is a similarity between the traction, both TRKA and what we used to see in GME. So remember this part, and TRKA, the background, you already know that it was an acquisition company. I talked to you in my previous video, so I'm not going to repeat that again. One thing I wanted to mention is institutional shares are about 2.96%, and there are some big names that I see. Not a huge position, but it's good to see that it is on the radar for all these big companies, big financial firms like Fidelity. Take a look right here, 26,000. Fidelity Extended Market Cap Fund, they have 272,000 plus shares. Fidelity Series Total Market Funds, they have more than 24,000 shares, and there are some other financial institutions, they added their positions. We don't see really some reds here. Reds meaning right here, rows indicate, red rows indicate the closed position. Green rows indicate the new position. We do not see a ton of new position, but we do not see, this is one of the bigger new position. This LTM Capital Management, 2.6 million shares, which is looking super juicy, super interesting. Savvy Management, they added 1.6 million in February. That is looking pretty promising as well. But besides that, we don't really see too many green, too many reds. So this is again a good sign. I already talked to you about this short selling ratio, but let's talk about what is going on with the volume. Their average volume, 92 million. Today's volume, 35.9 million. This is something I really like to see. Even though they had low volume, the swinging was from 18 cents to 23.5 cents, which is 33% swing. So guess what? If someone bought it around 19 cents or 20 cents, sold it after 10 or 11% return on your investment at 3 cents, perfect swing trade within a day. It's hard to get 10-15% in this kind of market situation, but when the market is green, and if your stock is green, there is more fuel because they don't really need to run against the market. Basically, they are just trying to run in the direction of wind, and you like the stock all of a sudden because it worked out so well. Now, think about it. 92 million is the average volume. We do not really have that huge of a volume. Can it go back to 26 cents that we saw in mid-April? Let's take a look right here. 26.50, 27, 27, 24. Can it go back from 18 cents to 26 cents? Certainly yes, because you know what? 18 cents and 30 cents is our range. It can go to 30 cents, 32 cents. It'll get some sort of price resistance, and we have seen that multiple times, and let me show you what I mean by that. So take a look right here. If I go back 1 month, you should be able to see that we have a hard time going about this price point, which is 35 cents. But before that, we have here 30 cents. We got back down. Again, we tried going back up. 29 cents, 30 cents, close to 30 cents, we are going back down. Now, if you think about what it does in terms of the 5-minute chart, let's take a look, and you should be able to find out even further juicy information. Whenever we go to 21 cents, we tend to sustain, and if we can go above and beyond, let me go back and change this graph to right here, 21 cent, and after that, if we can go successfully above that, we are looking at this price point, which is about 23 cents. So before we go to above and beyond 23 cents, we may not even see this juicy green candle. Right now, what it seems like, not an overbought, not an oversold condition. It is still in the bearish zone, but guess what? Once we start seeing the momentum, you should feel pretty confident once we get to this price point, which is 24 cents. After that, we can see another bump up to 26 cents. So all in all, what I'm trying to say is, if we don't go below 19 cents, it's a good sign. It's a strong support, and you can see that we can turn back pretty quickly. That this is a V recovery that we can see, and this is perfectly looking like V recovery, and we can go all the way to 27.50 pretty quickly. One thing that you want to notice what about TRKA is they have a successive recording quarter of $188 million in revenue. The revenue increased by 1,125% based on their filing. Their EBITDA is $5 million that can quickly turn into pretty positive net income once they start booking more revenue, and if their EBITDA stays flat. Continued strong revenue momentum in different revenue streams, growing demand and market for performance solutions within the home improvement, residential services, legal and professional services sector as well, successful completion of restructuring of operations, and cost optimization following the acquisition of this new Converge. So this is the update. I hope you like this. If you did, do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and happy investing in TRKA.